Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the UK housing market. I want to give you all the details, all the possible information you need to make an informed decision, and then see if it's a good idea to buy a property now or wait for a better time. I'll give you then my opinion at the end. As you can see here, the Halifax House Price Index for January 2023 sees a slight increase in prices, but we are coming from, as you can see here, a drop that materialized mostly in November and December of last year. So some people will be tempted to say, okay, now it could be maybe a good time because the property price drops are at the end. We will see now in the going through other aspects and reading other articles if this is the case or not. The Bank of England has just recently increased the interest rate to 4%, and I think further increases are on the cards. We know the situation of the inflation in the UK. Is the inflation target is 2%, as you can see here, but the current inflation rate is 10%, which is shockingly high. Is the highest, I think, in Europe, and definitely I think the US inflation is going down quite a bit. So the Bank of England will definitely be forced to keep increasing rates. Some believe that there's going to be another maybe 1% or just a bit more, but it's very unlikely that we're going to see interest rates drop this year. We need to consider that stamp duty cuts run still to 2025. I really hoped that the stamp duty cuts would make any difference, but no, this time they didn't help at all. We remember that during COVID, these stamp duty cuts really helped the market quite a lot, but no, this time it doesn't seem to be the case. The UK is now in a recession, and they are not in a position to introduce further tax incentives or tax cuts. Actually, they have increased taxes because of the budget is not in a good shape. So we see here already two aspects. Interest rates, they gonna go down. They're likely going up for some time for this year, and taxes are not going down. And that's for me another aspect we need to consider. Then UK mortgage approvals fall to lowest since start of the pandemic. This is concerning because if mortgage approval fall, it means that people don't even bother applying for a mortgage, and so they think they probably cannot afford the property, or mostly they cannot afford the repayments. The situation is that the people are already in debt because of the current inflation. So this is for me very concerning. Another concerning aspect here is the house repossessions, more than double over a year. Official figures show as banks take back properties due to missed mortgage payments. So repossessions by county courts increased 134% at the end of 2022. Inflation and higher mortgage rates have put pressure on household budgets. This is concerning, and this is, I think, what is going to play out this year. This year we see, I think, a massive increase, a further increase of repossessions. Again, I think because of mortgage rates are rising and the debt and situation I was talking about earlier. And to finish off, landlords are selling off their rental properties, forcing rents even higher. So we know for a long time now landlords are selling off. I'm not gonna cover here the reasons, but you know that this is gonna put more properties into the market, and while of course rents will rise, this is gonna be bad for the property prices. We know that a lot of investors in the last few years, because interest rates were at an all-time low, they just bought more and more properties without even having the funds. Trying to stretch too much, and now they're realizing they're in trouble, so they are offloading the properties they can't afford. Um, so there are many factors, of course, that are fundamental if you're deciding whether to buy or move house right now. And I mentioned interest rates, inflation, stamp duty, and the general housing market. I think the current levels of inflation and interest rates are probably going to dampen the demand for for property, which is likely to slow the housing market down in the short term. I do still believe that in the 18 years property cycle, I made a video on that, so I won't repeat it again here. So if you're interested, just watch my previous video. But according to the 18-year property cycle, we should be prepared for 4 years of crash and bottoming out in the housing market. So we certainly saw a ramping up of house price growth during the 2020-2022 years. So that fits nicely with this peak. The fact that we currently have high inflation, rising interest rate, and the cost of living crisis means that we likely have property prices dropping for, in my opinion, a few years. So if you really want to buy, I'd say wait until the very end of the stamp duty cuts. I wouldn't buy before that at all. Likely that maybe 2026 will be the time when the market turns. So I would say, if my advice, of course, nobody knows the future, but I would say I would consider, unless you need to buy it for yourself as a first property. But if you're interested in a buy-to-let for financial independence, I would say you should be waiting until 2025. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video and would like to support the channel, please subscribe. Bye for now.